Okay, Jen, if you didn't hear that little robot, then this meeting is officially being recorded. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I love the summer. I love the summertime. So happy to be here.
Yeah, it's summer is great, especially now that I no longer have to deal with the humidity that Ohio has. It's nice to be able to be in Arizona. But in the past, yeah, we haven't talked in like 6 months. So can you kind of give me a little update on what's been going on with you since Artificial season 3 ended?
Yeah, that was season three. For the last 6 months, I guess I've been fortunate enough to work and audition and keep doing that whole thing because Artificial gave me quite a leg up. It was a really wonderful opportunity for me and showcase. And so my acting career sort of had an uptick since we wrapped in October. So that was kind of good. And I did an episode of Bosch, an episode of General Hospital, and an episode of Rebel. I shot a movie that's coming out next month. Actually, it's part of Tubi's original programming. They're coming out with like Tubi originals, much like the other streaming services do. And
Right.
I think you saw it, Joseph. I was tweeting some articles about it, and my husband's Joey Lawrence, and it's like a shark movie, and I'm the female lead, and I just finished recording 241 lines of ADR, so studio recorded dubbed lines. I just finished that, and that was quite an experience. Yeah, to know that like most of my performance when I filmed the movie was not going to be used, my vocal performance at least, and I had to recreate it in a booth. I mean, I've done it before, but not
So
quite that much.
So was the movie, I'm sorry, was the movie in a different language? And then you had to dub over it? I'm just trying to understand exactly the dubbing process for this.
I mean, it might as well have been, huh? No, it's because there was so much water gags and water stunts.
I see. I got you. So they just had to have clean audio.
Yeah, it was just a lot of too much action stuff going on. And yeah, so a lot of my screaming and crying had to be redone all over again.
I'm sure that was a whole lot of fun. You got to cry multiple times.
I certainly did. And like I lost my voice a little bit, screaming nonstop. Because you usually scream and cry over several weeks of filming. Instead, I had to do it 2 days, 2 days in a recording studio. But hey, that's the way it goes. Now I know.
And did you say the movie's coming out this year on Tubi?
Yeah, they're coming. It's coming out next month. I don't know how they're still in post. They're
What
just
is,
working around the clock.
can you remind me what the name is of the
When?
film? Swim?
Yeah.
Cool. So, what is your part exactly, other than screaming and crying? Can you tell me more about what you do? Do you actually swim?
Yes. It's not the most complex, character. I play a mom that's protecting my family. And there is a rogue shark that has entered our house that is flooded. So basically, rough weather, floods our beach home, a shark comes in, and we're fighting off the shark.
That's awesome. So, can I ask about the? So, first of all, are you afraid of sharks? Before I ask about the actual shark in the film, like, what are your take on sharks? Are you afraid of the ocean? You afraid of underwater beasts?
I am not. And I am afraid of spiders. And I think it's called agoraphobia. Is that right?
I
When
think
you're
so.
scared of the dentist?
Oh, I
Oh,
don't
no,
know.
wait. Agoraphobia is fear of heights,
Okay.
I think. Anyway, I have fear of dentists, fear of heights, and fear of spiders, but I guess I don't know. I don't have a fear of sharks.
So what did they do? Is it the shark like CGI? Did they have something there in place of it? I imagine there wasn't an actual shark in your house. So could you tell me a little bit about the effects on that?
We had a puppet shark sometimes.
That's cool. And also like I imagine looks kind of funny.
It looked kind of funny, but I think like it's mostly CGI, but I'm curious to see if the puppet shark makes it in makes it in the movie at all. um yeah, because it looked kind of realistic, but you could tell it was like made of foam or whatever.
Right. So you, in addition to this, you also did a General Hospital stint recently, right? I remember seeing that on Twitter. Can you tell me more about that episode and what you had done in it?
Yeah, I played a prosecutor, an attorney, and it was one of those things where super competitive show, legendary, it's got that name, everybody recognizes it. And I was so excited because it's the first time I auditioned for the show and I got the role. Uh, they ended up not doing any close-ups on me, which sort of shocked my friends and family. But that's sometimes the way it is if you're kind of a small potato in the episode and you're not a big part. Um, ooh, sorry, there's a loud helicopter.
I was gonna say I don't hear
You
it.
don't? Oh,
No.
good.
Maybe are they? Is it coming in to pick you up? Is there a shark? Is your house flooded? Like what's going on? Is that
Save
rescue?
me, save me. It's going away now. Okay. So, yeah, so when you're just like what I do a lot of still is co-stars and recurrings. And so when you do the smaller roles, you're not as important on the cutting room floor. So General Hospital is great. I mean, it's a soap, as you've heard, they move quickly. It's a very quick shoot, a very efficient, well-oiled machine. And hopefully I'll be back. There's no guarantee yet, but hopefully I'll be back so I can get some more close-ups. You can
And
see
it's
me more because otherwise you only saw me kind of in the wides for my
well,
episode.
and I haven't seen it, but General Hospital is a hell of a resume builder. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that looks great on your IMDb. So, um,
Thank you. Good, good.
was all your shooting for that in one day then? Because
Yeah.
and how they work.
Yeah, I was in and out. I was in there from the time I arrived for hair and makeup and got out. It was 6 hours, but I've heard you sometimes are there for even less amount of time. I've heard from other actors that it's a dream job because it's actually a day job and you work from like 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or something, and you're home in time to feed your kids and watch a movie. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, I was
It's like
gonna
a
say
day
I
job. You
never
don't
really
shoot at
thought
night.
about it like that. I never thought about soaps that way, but I
Yeah.
bet that it's probably a lot more structured.
It's more structured. You don't shoot weekends, you don't shoot at night. You can actually have like normal family life and so or social life. So it's kind of like a dream job. Yeah.
And you can hang out with your 8-year-old after.
Exactly.
so,
Yeah.
so you are you had mentioned when we talked before that you had something coming up with John Lithgow, but I don't remember what that project is. And can you tell me if that's out yet or if that's still coming?
Yes. I actually just saw a news article because one of our guest stars, the main people on the show, he's on another show, and I got like a blurb about it. And in the news article, it stated production is still on hold because Jeff Bridges is recovering from cancer, going through the cancer treatment. So he's the EP, he's the star. It's called The Old Man, and it's on FX. You might have seen it sometimes in some of the FX on Hulu or FX trailers and teasers. There's a whole bunch of series coming out, and some have already started to come out, like A Teacher, Reservation Dogs. And so The Old Man is the name of it. And I thought they had finished filming, but it sounds like there might be some more. For example, maybe there's some ADR things he has to do in post. Maybe they do have to film some more. So it's one of those things where the pandemic put it on hold, and then Jeff Bridges is fighting the big C. So we got to wait on that.
I
Yeah.
didn't know. I hadn't heard that Bridges was facing cancer.
Yeah.
That's rough. That's rough. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so to talk about something that's a little less heavy,
Yeah.
what do you? Well, I know that there's no official news on artificial, official artificial, uh, but are you hoping to get another turn at Ruby and get to explore that character some more?
Absolutely. I feel like there was a lot more to say and share and do after the finale. And the story's not over for me. And to be honest, I already know the answer about season 4. I just can't say anything yet.
Gotcha. Okay, well then I will not ask you any more questions about that. But that's awesome because Ruby's a hell of a character, and the glasses are very like a signature thing. Like when it comes to artificial, that crazy doctor, just the glasses are one of the first things that pop into my mind. And I had recently talked to Toru again. Uh, And I think that the trial of Madeline was a really cool way to kind of end, season three. So, talking more on like a random note, not anything official, but is there anything that you'd like to see happen with your character, Dr. Ruby? If there was to be season 4, 5, 6 movie, anything that happens, is there anything that you'd like to see?
Yeah, I would like to see Dr. Ruby really make a dent on the world and sort of go worldwide in the canon of the show, because I think that she was seen a lot as manipulative, a trickster, self-serving. And I want to show the world that really I am just for progress and innovation, and that I side with the robots because I want to see what they can do for the world, good or bad. So I think I want to be able to show a little more of what I'm capable of.
Nice.
Yeah.
Moving on from artificial, because again, I don't want to get any spoilers or anything anything regarding a potential season 4. But besides those projects, do you have any other shows, anything that you had filmed? I know that you recently had some auditions, but I'm not sure what all you're allowed to talk about.
Oh, thank you. Thank you kindly. Well, Swim will be coming out on Tubi, which is like a streaming service that has its slate of original programming, as I mentioned before, coming out next month. So look for that movie called Swim with me and Joey Lawrence. And that will be coming out. And I'm actually filming a short film this week. I just found out a few days ago, and it's a horror. And James DeBello is in it, who is in Cabin Fever and Detroit Rock City. And there's a couple of other notable actors in it. And we have our table read tonight, actually. And it's a short, basically about, you know how in horror movies, nobody believes the person that sees the ghosts or sees the aliens or says someone's stalking them. Right. They're always like, oh, you're crazy, you're imagining things. So it's a little bit of that. So I feel like I don't want to say too much, but
sure, yeah, I get that.
It's a little twist on the classic story of, do you believe the person claiming to have these visions or not?
That's cool.
Yeah, it's called Projections. I can say the name. It's called Projections. It's a short film, and yeah, hopefully it will get into some cool festivals and develop a cult following.
That'd be awesome. Now, you had mentioned Swim. I just wanted to swing back to that real quick because you said that Joey Lawrence was your husband, and I was thinking, I didn't know you were married to Joey Lawrence, but I think now that you had met that he plays your husband in Swim.
Oh, sorry. Did I say? See, I was just so in my character.
No. It's okay. That's why I was confused. I was like, how did I not know that that's her husband? I was like, I never have heard of that. But so he's acting alongside you in Swim then.
Yes, he plays my husband. I'm just still, I guess, in character mode, and he's just still my husband in life because I don't know the line between reality and fantasy. It's all blurred together, I guess.
So you're gonna keep him off screen. You might not want to mention to him that like he's your secret husband, outside of Swim too. But if there's any sharks, maybe he can help take care of them for you. But other than those projects, do you have anything else that you need to promote, would like to promote? I know you have a podcast that you do.
Thank you.
On a regular basis. Did you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So I'm in the podcast world. My friends and I started one during the pandemic, and it was my first time doing a podcast, and I learned a lot from it, as things go. And we started a new podcast. We developed a different idea. It's called The Unofficial Official Story. And basically, if you're a fan of paranormal podcasts, true crime podcasts, ghost hunters, anything like that, where, we're taking down Bigfoot, Roswell, the Bermuda Triangle, things like that. So we're taking enigmas, mysteries, the unexplained, true crime cases as well, and we're flipping it on its head, and we're sort of doing a Mystery Science Theater 3000 or drunk history treatment to it. So it's a lighthearted take on these beloved mysteries and unexplained tales that everyone's familiar with or not familiar with. So
So it's
yeah.
unofficial what? Sorry, I
Yeah, I know
forgot
it's
the
such a
middle.
mouthful. The unofficial official story. And we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts. I don't think we're on Podbean. Is Podbean a streaming site, the one you use?
That is the one that I use to send out to RSS feeds to go to shoot it out to Spotify and everything else. Podbean is what I
Oh,
use to edit everything and put everything on there. So like that's my host site, but I use Spotify, iTunes, all those things too. Um,
oh, got it. I'm pretty sure I made sure and I went and followed and liked, and I believe I reviewed and rated on all the sites that I've been using for yours, by the way, because I know how important it is. So yeah, we're on all the podcast sites, and yeah, it's a lot of work. We're doing the transcribing too. Remember I asked you about that
yes.
with the and that takes a lot of time. That's all I have to say.
So
That's one of the harder parts.
once we get off of this, once we get out of this fun little chat and we're not recording anymore, I will make a recommendation that might help you with that.
Okay, okay.
Just don't let me forget. I have terrible memory. So,
Oh my God, no, you don't at all. You have a great memory. You remembered how old my son was. That was so
well, I
sweet.
was close. I was a year off. He's 7 now. He's 8, right?
Right,
Okay,
right.
so I was close.
That was
But
pretty close. But yeah, yeah, I got the podcast going, so that's keeping me busy. And we do it once a month, which is a good amount, I think, for me. I mean, podcasts are definitely, if you want them to be good, you want them to be strong, firsthand, they require, takes time. It's a real investment. And what else do I got going on? I don't know. I'm just having a blast. Summer's here. As I told you, I'm making up for 2020. My kid and I are traveling, seeing friends and family that we didn't get to see for, we missed at least, I haven't seen them since 2019. So we have been living out of a suitcase all summer. I'm trying
that's
to get
nuts.
all the trips in while I can. And trust me, I'm auditioning on the road too, which is, you know, uh, not the most fun, but you got to do it.
Yeah, I
So
think I
still
had
working.
seen your tweet. You're like on vacation and doing my biggest audition or whatever, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
man, that's cool. But
Yeah.
I have a kind of a weird question, not a weird question, but I don't. I know we had touched on the fact that you were like the 2006, 2007 Miss Asian America, but I was curious actually if like you are still involved at all, or like if they're like the different Miss Asian Americas can like ever meet or like do anything together. I mean, like sort of like a passing down the torch, you know what I mean? Because I know that like sometimes they invite, old princesses, old queens, old everything, but I didn't know how close you are or whether you're still involved in that at all. It was just a weird thing I was thinking about
No, it
before we
is.
got in.
It's great because it's sharing with your audience and listeners like what happens post pageant, like what does come of that, that community. And you're exactly right. I am absolutely still involved. Some past Miss Asian Americas stay really involved, meaning they volunteer, they help out, they go to the pageant every year. But because I don't live in the Bay Area and it's still headquartered in the Bay Area, so I have to travel. And it's it's a nonprofit, so they don't have a lot of money, so they can't fly me in every August. So like I have to go on my own dime, and like so I try to go back when I can to attend and visit. And I am best friends with several of the Miss Age Americas. We are like a crew. We used to do these Vegas trips together. We had like these annual Vegas trips, and then we all started having kids. So it kind of like slowed down. But actually, all of us were getting together for my friend's birthday in Vegas in May. And I had to dip out because I did the Joey Lawrence movie. I was all set. I was staying with my friend. I bought a new bikini. I bought a Vegas dress. I was all ready to go. And carpool was figured out, and at the last minute I was like, this came in, I have to say yes. So I just missed one of our reunion trips, but I am a bridesmaid in Miss Asian America 2005. So the girl that crowned me, I'm actually a bridesmaid in her wedding next month.
So that's really cool. That's really cool, and that kind
Yes.
of touches on a like an ancillary question that I had. So, did you then crown the next the 2007 2008 one? Because if she crowned you, I imagine that that continues to go. Do
Yeah.
you keep like your crown in the meantime? Does it stay there? Just little weird things that I am curious about on like the inner workings of the Miss Asian America pageant.
Yes, you get to keep the crown. And my crown is pretty beat up because I wore the shit out of it. I traveled with it. I wore it a lot. So I still got it. And you don't have to, you like in theory you're passing the crown on, but you actually they get their own new crown.
Yeah,
So like
that makes a lot more sense.
yeah, so I got to keep the crown, but yeah, you go back the following year and you do like a farewell message, and you can do a performance if you have a talent that you can do, and you return the following year to, yeah, sort of pass on the crown, and there's like a speech portion, there's a whole bunch of stuff, so it's kind of like you'd get to do two pageants, yeah, when you win and when you come back, and they actually asked me, oh, it was slightly disappointing. They actually asked me to come back and judge last year and be a judge. And I was waiting. I was waiting for the opportunity when the pageant director would ask me back to be a judge because it's considered a great honor. And I also was partly thinking they wanted me to have something really significant under my belt, something to brag about. So like, oh, Jennifer won an Emmy. Oh, Jennifer is I don't know, she's been invited to have dinner with the president. I mean, I don't know, something significant that they could put in their little bio blurb. So I think she was waiting for me to be at a point where it seemed significant enough for me to judge. And they asked me, but guess what? I was doing artificial. I couldn't. I was like, no, I can't do this. You have no idea how much work artificial is. And they're like, please, please. Because last year they did a virtual pageant. So they thought I could really do it because it was on Zoom. I said no. That show, as you know, is a workload, so I could not do anything else. And um, yeah,
What's cool to
yeah,
know that you guys stay in touch, and I mean, obviously,
yeah.
if you're being a bridesmaid, that's awesome. Um, you, God, I don't want to keep you too long, but I wanted to know before I let you go, is there any? I mean, I know you have social media, I know you have a website. Did you want to go ahead and plug those? That way, the viewers and listeners can go check you out.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I have a website that has sort of a catch-all for everything: news articles, photos, and all the social stuff. And it's Jennifer Field, FIELD.com. I'm on socials. I have Facebook, Instagram is at Miss Asian America. Oh, at Miss Asian America. No, it's not. You got me wishing I was still Miss Asian America, current reigning queen.
Undefeated, nobody's been able to take
Undefeated.
your belt.
I miss it so much. No, it's at Miss Jennifer Field. At Miss Jennifer Field is my Instagram handle. And I have Twitter. It's at Jennifer Field. And you can check out my podcast. I would love a follow, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. The unofficial official story. And that's on Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the good ones, all the ones, everything.
Anywhere that you're listening to this and watching this, you can go find Jennifer, unless it's Podbean. Unless it's Podbean. You can just look her up on whatever you're listening to this podcast on, and then look up Jennifer. Unless it's Podbean. I'm the only one apparently who uses that.
Somebody else used it the other day, and I was like, wait, do we need to be on that? We use Buzzsprout. Is that what kind of Podbean is?
Yes, yeah. There's I didn't use Podbean initially for my initial I mean, it doesn't really matter. I don't remember what the other ones were. I have Podbean's like the third one that I've used, but they're all just essentially like a hosting site
Yeah.
that shoots out. But is there any like message that you want to leave listeners with? Anything that you want to get off your chest, or just kind of, a well wish to end this interview with for your the
Well, I just want to say a shout out to all the Literary Joe podcast listeners and followers. Joseph has the coolest guests I have seen and listened to, and he just brings the best and the coolest. So thank you for listening and supporting, and stay safe. Stay safe. Please get vaccinated if you're, unless you have a medical reason why you can't be, but please let's get through this. Let's get through this pandemic. So stay safe, everyone.